welcome back to Minding Your Mind with Dr. Sizi. I am Dr. Sizi, and welcome back to my channel where we discuss about mental health and everything, every discussion that we need to discuss, and we need to educate people. So I'm doing this video today because I wanted to talk about something that has been happening in my life, and I wanted to encourage a few people. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I've taken a long time. Okay, for me it's long because it's around a month or 2 months that I've not taken the time to create content and upload. And when I was beginning this channel, I had promised myself that I'm going to at least post some content either once a week or twice a week, even if I am able to, or if I'm not able to, at least in 2 weeks there's something that I'm creating. But what happened is that after my last video, I told myself, okay, I did a few videos, but I was not happy with them. So I told myself, because at that specific time that I wanted to create, to repeat, to do a little bit more on the videos, there were things that were happening in my life, things that needed my full attention for those 2 weeks, and I needed to be physically and mentally there and put my mind there first so that I come back to doing this. But what happened is that after the 2 weeks were over, I told myself that I'm going to come back and post and come back to my normal routine and post the videos. But what happened is that I became discouraged, and I was not discouraged because of my videos. I was not discouraged because you know, as you're doing research, you read that many people are always discouraged, especially with content creating, because it's a lot of work. You take your time to ensure the light is okay, to ensure the sound is okay, and then you go to the editing part. And for me, it's okay, I do everything for myself, but what I don't know everything, because there are people who create better content than me. But what I like about it is that at least I get to read about it, I get to learn more, which is another skill that I didn't have, but I'm gaining. So that's why I enjoy doing it. That's why I tell myself, even if it's bad, I'll just put the content out there and learn from it. And I didn't want to be discouraged because of the number of subscribers I have. I don't want to be discouraged because of the views, because I used to get more feedback from people who I know than even from online, because yes, people view, but the feedback is what also I really used to like, and people used to give me the feedback that I wanted, return the feedback that I wanted. And what was good about it, for the feedback, was that people were telling me, we want you to talk about this, and yes, it was, for me, that's what YouTube was about. But the point that I'm trying to pass is that I was discouraged because of just where my life was. Because you know, you always have ambitions, you always think that your life would go this way. You know, that's what you always want your life to be here. You know, you always, though we tell ourselves don't compare yourself with others, you always sometimes compare yourself with others. You look at how your friend is doing, where your friend is, where you know your cousin is, where your auntie is, you know, your siblings, where they are right now, and a part of you wishes that maybe you were there. Okay, there are some people, maybe you thank God that you're not there, or not there, but maybe you don't thank God that you're not there, but you appreciate and thank God for where you are as of now, because you do the things that you didn't think that you were, you know, you thank God more because you didn't know that you had them and you were ungrateful. Yes, and so it was not about that, but it was about my personal, you know, you also set your personal goals. You tell yourself, by now I'd be here, I'd have done this, and you know, everything was now not going my way. It's still not, even as we speak now, but at that time it just hit me hard. You know, there's just a point that it hits you hard, and I was discouraged and I was hopeless. I just told myself, then why, you start asking yourself so many questions. And that's what was where I was in my life. And as I was asking myself those questions, now I started now putting out even on my content, every aspect of my life and my content creation. And I started asking myself, is it really worth it? Should I be doing it? Maybe I should put my energy into doing something else. Maybe this is not what God wanted me to do. Maybe this was not what I was meant to do. But again, another voice comes and tells me, you people were learning from you, and you enjoyed doing it. It's not something that anyone forced you to do it. It's something that you enjoyed doing it, and it's something that you've actually even done more things so that you educate more people. Yes. And yeah, I just reached that point of discouragement, and I started looking for things to do. Now I started telling myself that I will not reach a point where I'm worthless. I might be hopeless, but I don't want to reach a point where I'm worthless, because being who I am and being the overthinker I am, and wanting my life to be in balance. My life is like this, and I want my life to be balanced. I don't say that I want it to be a lot of goods and no bads. I want it to be balanced in a way. I'm also feeling as if, okay, this is not a bad place. Yes, this is not working out, but this is working out. Yes, this is not, and I do want to reach the place where I'm not worthy of myself, because I talk a lot about mental health, and I don't only talk about it, I also read about it. And every time there's a part of you inside your brain that tells you that worthlessness will lead you to depression, and will lead to other things that you're not ready for. That's the good thing about learning about mental health, the good thing about being educated. So I started doing what all the things that I was telling you about the self-care. I started doing more. I started doing things that I've never even done, or things that I wanted to start doing, things that, yes, all those things that I talked about in my previous video, for what you can do for yourself when you feel you're not okay. And I was still not feeling as if still there was something that was missing. And I was just trying, every day I wake up and I just try to encourage myself that, everything will work out. It's just not your time yet. You just need to be patient. You just need to be, and yeah, I started developing also some anxieties. And what now used to make me less anxious was that now I started playing a lot of games. I started downloading games, playing them, deleting them, and yeah, there's so many things that I actually can't explain, but yes, I started doing. And what changed my attitude, and why I'm doing this video now, and why I'm going to come back to creating more content, because I have a lot of videos, I have a lot of topics that I'm passionate about. I want you guys to know about. There are some even courses I've done. I've even gone to further reading and doing short courses about them, so that I can give you more details and educate you more, about those specific topics that I had. I've already prepared for them. Actually, I usually write everything that I'm preparing for in this book. It's like a notebook where I write, and everything, that so that I don't miss anything, so that I give you the best content. Yes. And yeah, so as I was saying, what happened is that I got another app in Play Store. It's called Women's Bible Study. Yes, so I just said, yes, I read the Bible through the other app, the Holy Bible app, that talks about every day. But I was like, why do they say women? I started asking myself, what should women learn? I don't know. There's just something about the fact that it said women. So I downloaded it, and the first topic that I got, they have different themes. they have different topics that they have done, because it's an old app. There are topics as far as 2013, and the topic I got was from 2014, and it was written discouraged with a question mark. And I was like, it's a coincidence. I download an app and that's the first thing that I see, and I told myself, maybe God wants me to learn something from that study about discouragement, and maybe I'll get out of what I'm feeling, and maybe I'd understand why everything's happening. So yes, so I've done they do like around a week, like 7 days or 2 weeks lessons, and I just started not so long ago. I'm not yet finished, but up to where I am now, I'm beginning to understand that you know, there's some things that happen in your life. You might not be where you are now, because even as you are now, you're thinking about the next year, because the year is ending. You think about the next year and about what you should be doing next year. What are your goals? But you know what, not everything will work out the way you want it to work out. Not all the goals that you set will be there the way you set them. Okay, it's not written on stone. So but at least one of them, you know what made me like just think, at least one of all those things that you've written, all your goals and your achievements that you're setting for 2022, at least one of them will work out. And also for me this year, yes, there are things that have not worked out for me, very many things actually, but there's something that actually worked out for me this year, something that I thank God that happened to me, you know, something that I'm very, very happy that it worked out, because last year, the same time, I didn't see it. I was not seeing it happening. I was seeing it happening some other way, you know. I didn't have expectations for it, but you know what, God made it happen for me. God made it happen for me even better than the way I expected it to happen, and I have to be grateful for that. I have to thank Him for that. I have to appreciate that actually that happened. Not very many people it happens to them, you know. But I think another thing that I was not patient. I was not patient about it. But after doing that, and after reading the Bible study and still doing it, I'm able to understand as to why I am here, where I am. So it's making me be less discouraged and be more encouraged that to do what I love doing, and that is, I love creating content and I love helping people, and that's my passion, and that's where God is guiding me to go. And yes, so I just wanted to encourage all of you. I know yeah, many people you might be discouraged, but yeah, you can download that app. I'll just put a link for the app. You can download it if you want to do the discouragement part of the Bible. It speaks about it's speaking about men of the Bible, it's like a history kind of lesson, describes to you like how Adam and Eve were and everything that was happening throughout the Bible, and speaks about the people like Habakkuk. They speak about David, they speak about Solomon, and they're explaining Paul, Elijah, and they're explaining, and the lady is explaining to you what they were undergoing and how they were discouraged and how you can work around it. And I think the lesson that I was really went with me was one for Habakkuk, where I was just discussing as to how people always say, why is it it's unfair, why does it have to happen to me, you know. And those were the questions that I was asking myself, and I think it was the second lesson, and that's now where I now got into it, and I was like, this might be me. I need to learn more and I need to know more so that I get out of what is happening. And yeah, so I wanted to to come to you and to tell you that do not worry, I am back, and I'm back again with more content, and I hope that you'll enjoy everything and you'll learn from me, and we'll continue building our YouTube family. Yes, and I wanted to remind you one thing, that if you're discouraged, always remember that everything works out for at its own time, and that is something that I didn't want to believe. That's something that I am like, because of, as I said before, me not having patience. I was like, no, it has to work out now and now and now, and that's just something that I keep on telling myself, that I need it to work for me at my own time. My own time is coming. Yes, now someone else's time is here, but my own time will come. And when my time comes, what I'm praying to God is that I'm going to be prepared at that own time, and whatever I'm going to do now is just sit down, relax, and let God's way work. Because something that I also learned from the Bible study was that it was saying that you have always to remember that you're part of God's story. You're not part of my story. I'm not part of Saisy's story. I'm not part of, yes, I'm part of Saisy's stories and other people's, but God, I'm part of God's, how God is writing my story in his book that's what I want to be part of. I don't want to not work with God and do my own thing separately and not be part of God's story. Because if you work with the Lord, you'll go further places, and you'll always have hope that things are going to work out for good. And also in the Bible it says, all things work out for good to those who love the Lord. And yes, so that's where my encouragement is coming from. And I just wanted to remind you that if your mind is not okay, you are not okay. And if your mind, the purpose that I do these videos and the purpose that I'm here is that I want you to know that and identify that when your mind is not okay, you can always seek help. You can always seek help from the Bible. You can always seek help from your friends. You can always seek help from your family members. You can always seek help from a professional. You just need to identify that this is where I am, and I don't want to be more depressed. I don't want to fall into depression, and I need to seek help before I get there. And yeah, that's the purpose why I create this video, so that you're able to learn and you're able to get one or two things from everything that I come here and present to you. And yes, so don't forget to subscribe if you're a new subscriber, and we are coming back with more content. Bye bye.